So improving the guard spots has been an issue for the Vikings for the past number of years. It's like, oh, just move Mike Remmers there. Oh, sign Tom Compton. He's best friends with Kirk Cousins. They talk about astronomy and shit, right? All that stuff goes into what has been going on in the Vikings offensive line. And then this year in the draft, like, they didn't really take anyone. Like Kyle Hinton coming on Washburn in the 7th, I think potentially could be a starting Vikings interior offensive lineman, but it does appear that they're going to roll with Pat Elflein, and the only competent guard from the offensive line last year, Josh Klein, they let go because he was due to make $6. They're like, hey, take 4. He's like, no. They're like, whatever. So I do believe in Drew Simeon, who seems to be penciled in as the Viking starting right guard as of right now. I do believe in the talent of Oli Udoh, but I'm just grasping. Just like, hey, we're on the same wavelength too, by the way. Trade for Joe Thuney. Trade for Brandon Scherf. Do anything you can to improve the guard position so it's not the downfall of the Minnesota Vikings in 2020. Hence, a couple weeks ago, when the Saints cut Pro Bowl All-World guard Larry Warford, we were like, get all up in that. But because he's going to be a valuable commodity and in high demand, but he hasn't been. Well, I think part of it is Warford is biding his time. A lot like we talked about how Everson Griffin, it's smart for him just to like chill out. You know, the money ain't really changing. They're not going to break the bank in all likelihood, as well as if you can sit out training camp during this weird-ass offseason with coronavirus and the Rona, it makes sense, right? Plus, being a veteran like Warford is, I don't think he necessarily has to be in camp all that much. And yes, getting into game shape, learning a new scheme, all that stuff. But, I mean, he's a guard, and he can kick ass. He can do those things. That should be Larry Warford could come in Week 1, historic US Bank Stadium, hosting the Packers on September 13th, without even meeting his teammates, without meeting his coaches, just showing up on game day, plop him in at right guard, and I bet you he'd do damn good. That's how it is. So here's yet another pitch. Warford one time. So Larry Warford, 6'3", 317, 29 years old, heading to his 8th season in the National Football League. He's been a 3-time Pro Bowler, all with the Saints. Was originally a 3rd-round pick in 2013 out of the University of Kentucky by the Lions. And now, remember him? Yeah, against the Lions. Like, he was really good, especially his rookie season. Had an 84.9 PFF grade. Also did not allow a sack. Was on a number of all-rookie teams. Was a stud and was an absolute rock star and pain in the ass in Detroit for 4 years. And then like the low energy Detroit Lions were apparently also low on checkbook balance because they didn't resign him. And for that, we thank you, by the way. But he did ink up a 4-year, $34 million deal with the Saints. Was a Pro Bowler in all 3 seasons. He was down in New Orleans. I did have a down year last season where he allowed a career high 32 pressures as well as 3 sacks, plus a career low 71.4 PFF pass blocking grade. But also, he would still be an upgrade. He would still be an absolute upgrade with the Minnesota Vikings as of right now. And the Saints cut him because he was due to count $12.875 million against the cap in 2020. Saints have been notoriously terrible in managing their cap. Like, Mickey Loomis needs him a Rob Brzezinski because he pays his credit cards with his credit cards. That's what's been going on with the Saints. You just wait till Drew Brees retires, and then they still have a $25 million cap charge on their cap, even though he gone. But yeah, but they decide to eat $5.125 million of Warford's 2020 cap hit dead against the cap, freeing up $7.75 million, as well as they had 2019 draft pick Eric McCoy out of Texas A&M. He's holding things down at center. And then they drafted first-round pick Cesar Ruiz, who I really like coming out of Michigan. I mean, if the Vikings would have spent a first-round pick on Cesar Ruiz, I would have been upset. But he's going to take over at the other guard spot. Plus, they signed Andrews Pete to like a bajillion. Andrews Pete is the 4th highest paid guard in the league. Are you kidding me? Are you absolutely kidding me? But whatever. Vikings currently have about $12.268 million in cap space, and I don't think Warford necessarily will be that expensive. Just by gauging the market as of right now, there hasn't been a big land rush. I think a lot of people have Warford on the back burner as of right now, and I think Warford's smart. He's biding his time. He's going to pick his team, pick his situation. Now, the knock against Warford is that he's a bit of a plotter. He's a bit of a stick in the mud. But his movement skills, I don't think, sync up to his testing numbers. And if you just watch the Saints, he certainly can get out on screens, getting out an outside zone, the way that he's led the way for Latavius Murray and Alvin Kamara the last couple seasons. So I don't think he necessarily would be a liability in the outside zone scheme any more than, say, Oli Udoh or Drew Samia would. And we obviously both believe We believe in both of their talents very much so. So I'm in on Warford, and he is a little bit more attractive than Thuney, as well as Scherf because of the price tag. I think it'll probably cost 60 or 7% of what they will, because they're going to be commanding a high dollar, plus proven track record, 3-time Pro Bowler, still has some tread on the tires as well. Plus the big thing, you don't have to give up draft picks and trade compensation to acquire them. So yeah, I would be all in. Like, honestly, if the best offer that they can muster up is a 2-year, $20 million deal with some incentives for Larry Warford, I think that's the best that he can get. B, Vikings can make it fit with the 2020 salary cap. C, do it. D, do it yesterday. Well, that is all. So, Larry Warford just floating out there, just waiting to be plucked. Add him to the Vikings. Warford at right guard. Samia, Udo, whoever competing at left guard. Let's go. Woo! Let's get it done. All right, but your thoughts. Larry Warford to the Vikings. Come on. Let us know in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support the work, pull us on the Venmo. But until next time, Skull, production value.